I'll start things off by just introducing or welcoming everyone and let people know that the meeting is being recorded. If there is a need for sign interpreter, I'll just ask or prompt those that are requesting it to put it in the chat. And Fiona, I think you can help facilitate that, right? And reach out to a sign language interpreter who's on standby. I'll just mention that we'll be taking questions after short presentations. So Sarah and Unita, I'm not sure how much you've been briefed on, but there is a portion where we expect you to maybe say 2 to 3 minutes of your respective areas. And then I'll acknowledge the territory acknowledgement about the Coast Salish peoples. That's typical custom for us to do that in meetings or webinars like this. I'll go over the agenda, which, as I mentioned, the program representatives will speak about their respective programs for 2 to 3 minutes. Fiona will monitor the time, so she may send you a quick note if you're going a little bit over time. Typically, I did this last year with nursing, and there was a good turnout and tons of questions. So I really feel that the value of this session is for the prospective students to ask questions. So we tried to keep the overview of the programs limited to 2 to 3 minutes. I'll mention that we have an advisor available, which is Domingo. Hopefully he'll join us soon. And I'll mention that we have a Q&A and some other information about other services that we have available for our students. So this slide, when I go to this slide, I'll prompt everyone just to do a quick round of introductions, just so that everyone knows who we all are. I'll then move to the next slide, which is just to remind everyone if they've got any questions to submit them in the chat, but to also include the program that they're interested in the question as well.
So Janita, will you go first then maybe? Will you give the blurb or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've got, yeah, Janita. Is it Janita or Yanita?
It's Janita.
Janita, okay, thank you. I also mentioned that we've got a poll and I'm supposed to activate it now, so maybe I'll just turn it on now. It's just a quick question about when are you considering starting your program? Just another way to engage with our prospective students.
Okay.
Nice.
Then I'll turn things over to Janita. This is where you can do your 2 to 3 minute sales pitch. Once you've done that, over to you, Sarah.
Okay.
And then I'll mention an upcoming info session for practical nursing, which is on May the 10th, and advising services. I'm sorry? Oh, sorry, I thought you asked the question. And then I'll mention advising services. Fiona, if I mention any website links, then if you could type them in, that'd be great then.
No problem.
Okay, and then we'll go to the Q&A, and this takes up the bulk of the session. They'll probably come fast and furious in the chat, and I'll just take them in chronological order, whatever order they come in first. And it's unlikely that we'll get through all of them. I suspect that there'll be a lot of questions, which is fine. You know, I'm glad there'll be a lot of interest. But we'll do our best to get through them. And I'll just let people know as we're nearing the end of the session, maybe towards 5 to 10 minutes, I'll try to wrap things up and just let people know that if they have any more questions or if we weren't able to get to any of their questions, they can contact the advising, set up an appointment. We also have a live advising Zoom meeting that runs from 9:30 to 5. And the link will be on our website at vcc.ca/experience.
Okay.
So once we wrap that up, I'll wrap this up. The next few slides will take about 5 minutes. So I really want to give the most time to the questions. I'll talk about the services for students. We've got 6 items here. And I don't know, Fiona, if you've gotten the habit of adding links or just the one link to the students section. And then wrap this up with next steps. Encourage them to attend the info session, meet with an advisor, or register. I'll then let people know about we're waiving the application fee for domestic students only. It's a $35 value, and there's a promo code here that they can enter. And finally, the contest, a chance to win $1,000 credit towards their tuition. And there's a code that people can enter as well. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Any questions about that?
No.
Fiona, can you just check if Domingo's in the waiting room? I don't know.
Yeah, I just let him in.
Okay. Oh, there he is. Hey, Domingo. Domingo, can you hear me? Oh, there you are. Okay. I only meet Domingo twice a year, and it's always at the Experience VCC as well. Okay, any questions? We got about 4 minutes before we start.
No.
No? Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's my first time being in one of these, but
Oh, okay.
I'm fine. Janita's well versed. I'll just copy her lead.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, do your best. I mean, it was a learning experience for me as well, and no shortage of really engaging questions, and I think that's where you can really come out and shine.
Domingo, I just had a question for you before we start. Hi to you. Domingo, right now, advising is booking appointments online right now. You're not moving that transition back to campus anytime soon, right? Where they could book face-to-face? You're muted. You're muted. Domingo, you're muted.
Domingo, you're muted.
You just sitting here. Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Sorry.
There you are.
Yes. You right now only phone and Zoom appointment, not in person, but hopefully soon, very soon in person.
What's the email address? Again, it's
advising at vcc.ca, and I'm also going to put that in the chat box later.
Chat box, okay.
Booked by calling 604-871-7000, press 2.
Press 2.
Just
Yeah.
a quick note. In the event that we've got a lot of shy participants and they're not asking questions, Domingo and I have this down packed. Feel free to jump in and just suggest any questions. I have some boilerplate ones that I could throw out there, and Sarah, you and Janita can weigh in. They're generic questions, but just hopefully it can start the conversation and we avoid those sort of awkward silent moments.
Yeah, that usually happens.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There were a lot of questions in the last sessions about, I think people are wondering about how things are going to look for the fall and COVID protocols and stuff. So just be prepared for possibly those type of questions.
I only see about 16 people in the waiting room, so that was well short of what we had anticipated last time. I think it was in the hundreds. So maybe we got late stragglers, or we'll just have to play it by ear and see.
Well, Janita and I do the same Q&A session, or do we go into break rooms depending on if people wanting to go into BSN or?
That is a good question. I don't think we're prepared to do breakout rooms, so we'll keep it in one sort of group discussion. That is a great idea that we should think about, though.
Yeah, but just to give you a heads up, we're currently doing advising as well, from 9 to 5 today and tomorrow. So we do have drop-ins. We do have breakouts because, for example, this morning we have questions about LPN. And we had to do a breakout during our info session. I mean, during the advising this morning. So I encourage, I'm going to say that again in my spiel later, that they can join the advising, and it's until 5 p.m. today and even tomorrow. They can definitely do that.
Yeah.
I would also mention if you have an info session booked coming up, and because those are a little bit more in depth generally, make
Correct,
sure
yeah,
you
correct.
make sure you mention that those are scheduled and invite them. You can throw
Yeah.
the link in the chat, or I can help out with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah,
you wanna
Danielle,
go
can you put my link for May
Yep.
10th there, please?
For sure.
Thanks. It's at 3 p.m., right?
Yeah, we'll wait till things get rolling, because I think in this version of Zoom, they don't see the chat until they're in it. So
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, it's 1 o'clock. Shall we open the doors?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fiona, is that me or you? The people in or...
I am admitting people. I'm just going to turn my camera off because my connection is lagging.
Oh, okay.
Michael, I love your background, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks.
Suddenly, I just want to pray.
Hi, everyone. We'll get started shortly. We're just waiting for a few more people to enter from the waiting room. Okay, why don't we get started? Well, welcome everyone. We're really excited to have you join us for our Experience VCC virtual open house event. My name is Mike, and I'll be your moderator today. Before we begin, I'd like to let you know that this session is recorded and it will be transcribed should you wish to access it another time. We'll be posting the archived videos on our website at vcc.ca/experience. If you need a sign language interpreter, excuse me, we do have one available on hand. Just let us know in the chat and we'll have an interpreter join us in the session. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the traditional and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, the traditional territories of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. This session is an opportunity for you to learn more about our nursing programs. On our agenda, we have program representatives who will speak about their programs for about 2 to 3 minutes. We have an advisor available should you have any general questions that are not specific to the programs. We'll then follow up with a question and answer period. But the real value of this session is the Q&A period, and we want to give you as much time as possible to ask specific questions. We'll also share information about upcoming info sessions, about the programs, student services, how to apply, and a chance to win $1,000 towards your tuition. Okay, at this time, can I ask the program representatives and our advisor and our tech moderator to quickly introduce yourselves? Tell us your name and your role with the college. So Sarah, do you want to maybe start?
Sure, I'm happy to start. Hi, everybody. Looking forward to meeting you all. My name is Sarah Desbiens, and I'm the department head for the BSN program here at VCC. And yeah, look forward to our session together.
Perfect. Janita?
Hi, everyone. My name is Janita Shappert. I'm the department lead for the practical nursing program, the generic as well as the access program. And I look forward to answering all of your questions. Welcome.
Thanks, Janita. Domingo?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Domingo Salviejo, and I'm one of the 6 academic advisors at the college. So, yeah, welcome again, and hopefully we'll be able to assist you answering with some of your questions. Welcome again.
Okay, great. Fiona?
Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Fiona Wild. I work in the VCC Reg office, and I'm here to help moderate things behind the scenes today for this session.
Okay, one more. Danny, I'll let you introduce yourself as well.
Sure. I'm Danielle. I work in the marketing and communications department, and nursing and health falls under one of my areas.
Okay, great. As I mentioned earlier, we will have a Q&A session. So if you do have questions, please submit them in the Zoom chat. Just be sure to include the program that you're interested in your chat question. If you have any questions, you know, we're not going to stop you from entering in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them in an orderly fashion. If we're not able to answer all your questions, or if there are any questions that you may have after the session, we will have a live advisor Zoom group meeting that runs from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. today and tomorrow. Just go to vcc.ca/experience, and there's a button, join live meeting. I'd like to also bring to your attention, we just have a quick little poll that we ask everyone to fill out. It's just a quick question asking when you'd be interested in starting your academic journey at VCC. So if you could take a moment and just fill that out, we'd really appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to turn things over to Janita, who will talk about the Access to Practical Nursing and Practical Nursing program.
All right, welcome everybody. Again, like I had just introduced myself, my name is Janita Shappert. I'm the department lead for both of these programs. I'll start with our Access program, providing you with a little bit of information on that. The Access program is offered once a year, and the next intake is September 2022, and applications are being accepted now, and there are seats available for this intake. So again, September 2022. The admission requirements are all listed on our website, but I highly encourage you, if you do have questions about whether the schooling that you've taken in another country or some of our English language proficiency questions, that you do book an appointment with advising. Domingo, our advising lead, is going to put that information in the chat box for you guys later, how to book a online appointment for that, or telephone appointment. All right. Our Access program is separated into 4 different levels, and it runs for 13 months long, and we don't take breaks throughout the year. We run right through the summer. Every theory term is 12 to 15 weeks long, and then it's followed by a clinical practice experience, a CPE, a clinical, which ranges from 3 weeks to all the way to 8 weeks, which is the acute care clinical. Once the Access term is an amalgamation of both levels 1 and 2 from our generic program. And so you are given credit for any prior experience that you may come into the program with. Prior experience being working in long-term care setting. You have 600 hours minimal of work experience in those areas that work with a number of clients together. And so you'd be in that Access term, and then starting from the next 2 levels, level 3 and 4 for our Access, are much like the same as our generic program, with levels 3 and 4 Then we have a week. There's usually about a week off after each term before the clinical experience starts. After our acute care clinical, we do have you go into a transitions course, which is a lab course that you come back into lab for a week and you sort of consolidate those skills. Then you end with our 6-week preceptorship. So that is our access program in a nutshell. And our generic program is not any different from that, except that we have the 4 levels, and our generic level program starts, we have 2 intakes, so a January intake and a September intake. This September we're full, and January we are full as well. But again, apply, because sometimes seats do get made available. So it's always a good thing to apply. And it is, like I said, 16 months. So it is 3 months longer than the access. So that's our 2 programs in a nutshell. And I welcome any questions specifically to those 2 programs later on, I guess. Thank you.
Thanks, Janita. We'll hand things over to Susan now, who'll speak about the Bachelor of Science of Nursing program. Sorry, Sarah.
Sarah, yeah, that's okay. I'll go by Susan.
Sorry, Sarah. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So yeah, Sarah Desbiens, and yeah, I mean, I guess I just talk about nursing a little bit. So welcome to the VCC Experience Days, and you know, I'm assuming you're here because nursing is of interest to you, and I'm sure you know that nursing is a really dynamic, exciting career with endless possibilities. It's a great bachelor's degree to even move forward into other types of careers, or to even grow within your nursing place. So just to share with me, I started in med-surg, oncology, and then in the last decade, I've been working as an instructor, newly as a department head, and also I work as a labor delivery nurse at BC Women's Hospital. So you can have your feet in a whole bunch of different areas, and yeah, just enjoy nursing for the wealth of possibilities that it offers. As far as our program is concerned, we'll get into some of the specifics, and I'm sure you guys will have some questions that hopefully I can answer. But as far as VCC is concerned, you know, one of the things I'd say that we have is really small class sizes. So we cap it actually at 24 students, which is great because you get, you know, some nice relationships within yourselves and then with faculty. Our clinical groups are quite small as well. So we actually keep it to 6 students per clinical groups. We've got some pretty fun simulation labs that we've put a lot of energy and money into. So we have like a birthing mannequin. We've got, well, this little guy back here in my office that you can, you know, look at the organs and play around with some of your skills. We've got lots of like recordings that we like to use during our lab teaching, just to try to make it a very dynamic teaching experience. So that's kind of that. Like Janita, we have sort of 2 entry possibilities. So we have what's called the generic nursing program. And so the generic nursing program would be if you don't have a LPN background or you don't have a nursing background, then you would come in and it's a full 3-year full-time program. We do offer the space of finishing it in 5 years in case something happens. You know, people have babies or things happen in life where you might need a little bit longer. But generally it's a full-time through the summer, like through, and you get it done in 3 years. And if you come into what's called our advanced entry program, this would be particularly if you're interested in starting in the VCC LPN program, for example, and getting out there, getting your work experience, and then coming back to complete a degree, then you come in, and then that program is 2 years. So we give you that 1-year credit for the LPN stuff that you've done, and then you come and complete your degree. So for the whole program, you know, you do things like we go into mental health, we go into addictions, we go into pediatric settings, we go into maternity, we do high acuity hospital rotations, we do community rotations as well, we do research projects. So, you know, our aim is really to graduate a nurse who's ready to be quite diverse in whatever area of healthcare you're interested in. So that's kind of my spiel. Yeah, I'm happy to open it up to some questions and answers when you guys are ready.
Michael?
I don't know if maybe Michael's, oh, there he
Yeah,
is.
I think
I was on mute.
Michael's
Let me
muted.
do that again. Sorry about that. It's amazing. Zoom hasn't figured that out, maybe it's just me. Sorry, I wanted to bring to your attention an upcoming info session for practical nursing. That's coming up on Monday, May 10th at 3 p.m. If you're interested in signing up for that, just go to vcc.ca/info. If you are interested in speaking with an advisor, just go to our website at vcc.ca/advising, and you can book an appointment with either Domingo or one of our other advising team members. Okay, now is a Q&A portion. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to enter it into the chat. Just be sure to include the program that you're interested in. Okay, we've got a question here from Rico. For the Access program, do you have to finish the prerequisite PNUR 1602 before applying? And do you have to have 600 hours as an HCA before applying, or can you finish the hours before the start of the program?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, Domingo, you can go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Whose question was it? If I may ask.
Rico?
Rico. Hi, Rico. My name is Domingo. As I said, I'm one of the academic advisors. Now, to answer your question, you can actually apply to the Access to LPN program while you are, while you are completing the required hours. Okay, we only require 600 hours work experience, right? To that's the required hours to get into the Access to LPN. Now, going back, what about nursing 1602? I mean, nursing 1602 or PNUR 1602 is a prerequisite to be admitted to the Access to LPN program. And obviously, since it is a course, there are high school prerequisites necessary. So what are these? English 12 with a B or equivalent, Math 11 with a C or equivalent, and Biology 12 with a C or equivalent. So we're going to look at your prerequisites, right? And if you meet those prerequisites, or if you have those equivalent, surely you can take our nursing 1602. Incidentally, you can also take the equivalent course of nursing 1602 outside of VCC. Okay. And if you do want to take this course, I encourage you to book an appointment to speak to me or one of the academic advisors, and we will be able to give you a list of courses where you can take the equivalent of nursing 1602. Just so you know, our nursing 1602 requires B- final mark. Okay, so so again, there's no wait list to get into the Access to LPN or the LPN for that matter. However, seat offering to either program is first come, first qualified. So in other words, we're not gonna offer you a seat not until you complete all the program requirements. So I encourage you to apply. As a matter of fact, I want you to apply today if you haven't applied, because we are waiving the admission fee. And I'm pretty sure one of our, maybe even Michael or Danielle, they're going to give you the code so you can use it in order to waive the admission fee, which is $35. And right now, that's a lot of money.
Yes, we'll provide those codes at the
Perfect.
end of the session. So thanks, Domingo.
Yeah.
Rico, I hope that answered your question. And my apologies, I jumped to Rico and I missed a few earlier questions. So maybe I'll just take a step back. Lori had a question. Is there a time in the future when the practical nursing program will be open to international students?
That's a good question. Maybe Janita will be able to answer that. I can't answer that right now.
It is, I'll tell you, it is on the horizon. It is one of sort of the projects we're looking at into the future. So yes. When, I'm not sure.
Good one.
Janita, just to clarify, is that just related to the COVID situation?
No,
No. Okay.
No, it's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Next question from Jasmine. I think Domingo answered it, but can you bridge an RN program at VCC if you did LPN from a different school?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you
Yes,
can.
you can. Yes, you can. Oh, sorry. Sarah, do you want to answer that, or do you want me to answer that?
Oh, I can answer it. The answer is yes.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Great. The answer is yes, as long as you meet the prerequisites, right? Because there are you got to remember there are requirements. By if you're saying, oh, the advisor or Sarah says I can start right now or immediately, well, that's not the case, because obviously you need to meet our requirements to get into our BSN advanced entry from LPN. And just so you know, we're currently not accepting right now for the advanced entry, just because we still have some wait lists going on, but pretty soon we will. But I encourage you to keep on checking the website, because there's a lot of things that you need to know, on our web page. Keep on checking the web page, and then it will also say all the requirements that you need to submit, right? Among other things, obviously the 18 university transfer course credits, and also the required hours, which is 900 hours work experience as a full scope LPN. And there's also the 4 transitional courses from LPN to BSN. I'm not going to overwhelm you with so much information right now, but it is what it is. We only have an hour info session for this program, but there is a advising info session going on right now, and there's a link that has already been provided. And you can just go and join the info session. It's today and for tomorrow. There you go.
Thank you, Domingo.
Yeah.
A question from Chris D. Zanetta. What's the % of students that pass the NCIEX exam?
Yeah, that's a great question. So that's called the NCLEX exam. And so this is our North American final licensing exam that you have to pass. So that's a really good question. It's important to look at what the NCLEX pass rates are when you're choosing your nursing school. So ours kind of jumps around. It's high. It's about the 95% mark. Our students do quite well with the NCLEX. There are some years where maybe it dips, but remember we have a really small class size. So if it's, 2 people that don't pass that year, for example, that's going to throw the numbers off. But that is something that we actually have a committee. We look at how the students do, and we make sure that we revise any curriculum, and we're in close relationship with the NCLEX exam to make sure that you guys are really, set up for success when it comes to that. So good question, Chris, for sure.
Great. Question from Sierra. For the Access program, do you have to finish the prerequisite? Oh, no, I think did we answer that? Oh, sorry.
I think already answered that, yeah.
Yeah, I got that mixed up with Rico. Oh man, I'm really off my game. Let me go back to Rico. Rico had a question here. Hello, I have applied for the nursing program for the fall 2021. I've been trying to transfer my credits from Douglas to BCC because I've done 1103 and 1203 biology.
Oh, good question. 11. So I'm assuming you want to go into the generic nursing, right? I'm assuming. Where is the person? I want to make sure I'm answering. Michael, can you help me?
Yes, correct. He says the BSCN program, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the BSN. Because you said something transfer. You are actually not transferring just because you are meeting the prerequisites to apply to our BSN. Now, when you say transfer, if you say, you know what, I was doing nursing at Langara. Now I wanna to transfer to VCC, and I want to use some of my credits towards. No, that's a transfer. But if you're meeting just the 18 university transfer credits, all you have to do is just submit the transcript, and that's it. It means that you have the prerequisites. So I'm assuming what you took from Langar is the anatomy and physiology, I believe. Right? What was the question? Because I couldn't read the question from the chat. So
the question, just to help you, the question is from Rico, and it says, I've applied to the nursing program for fall 2021. I've been trying to transfer credit from Douglas to VCC. I've done 1103 and 1203 biology.
Okay, so going back, so Rico's question, I believe that was for LPN, correct? Because he mentioned about nursing 1602. That was Rico's question earlier, correct?
No, that's someone else. Sierra is talking about 1602. Rico is talking about 1103 and 1203. I'm
so confused. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
so,
sorry about that.
So again, 1103 and 1203 is anatomy and physiology. Okay, from Douglas. You can definitely submit your transcript to RO, and you can do that by emailing your transcript to ro@vcc.ca. But just so you know, the anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, you still have to meet the other prerequisites as well, which is English 1100 and English 1200, and then the 6 credits of humanities, and again they have to be the same. Now for our RN, I don't know if you're aware, but we are now our admission right now is competitive. It's competitive, and we're going to look at your GPA based on those 18 university transfer credits as well as your result in the Casper test. Now, there's also the Math for Health Science assessment that you need to do, right? So again, I encourage you to speak to an academic advisor to be guided accordingly, because there's another requirement which is really, really important. If English is not your first language, for example, then you need to do IELTS academic, and just one of the academic, and that's one of the admission requirements. And right now, I don't know. I need more information whether you need IELTS academic or not. But as I said, please feel free to join our info session happening right now until 5 p.m. And yeah, we'll be happy to assist you with your questions again.
Thanks, Domingo. And Enrico, you know, if you got specific questions like that, it might be better to book an appointment with an advisor as well. And,
there's a very interesting question here. Once I complete my prereqs for BSN program, are you guys going to look at my high school grades in order for me to get accepted? No, we're not going to look at your high school grades, because at the end of the day, we're going to look at your GPA based on the university transfer courses. Okay. However, just so you know, if you want to take the university transfer courses at VCC, surely we will look at your high school transcript. Just because, to take, for example, our Biology 1120 Anatomy and Physiology Part 1, we require Biology 11 C+, Biology 12 C+, Chem 11 C+, Pre-Calculus 11 C+, and English 12 with 72%, right? So, but this is different if, for example, you're coming in and you want to do the advanced entry, which is from LPN to BSN. Just because, one, if you're already an LPN, your LPN supersedes the high school prerequisites. So in other words, you can go straight and take all the university transfer courses for the advanced entry, and we're not going to look at your high school transcript anymore. It's only if you're applying to the BSN and you want to take the university transfer courses at VCC, that's where we're going to look at your high school transcript. But we're not looking at your marks. We're only looking whether you have met the prerequisites with the appropriate final marks, which is only C+.
Okay, thanks, Domingo.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Myla Wynn. When are you guys reopening the advanced BSN program, and how many students per intake get accepted?
Hi, okay, yeah, I can answer that one. So we'll actually be answering it in the next couple of months. So I think you probably heard Domingo say the word Casper, which may or may not mean something to you. So, excuse me. So Casper is basically a, sorry, thought I'd choke right when I'm answering a question. Casper is basically a personality analysis, if you will, and it's used in nursing schools across the country, actually. So what we're doing is we're just getting that rolled in to be part of our admissions process for the LPN to BSN program as well. So in a couple of months, you should see that open up. So we're going to be looking at Casper, which you can Google, it'll come up for you easily. And then it'll be the same admission requirements that you see on the website. So in about 2 months or so, you should see that. And the intake is for next August. So that's when we would have our next program offering.
Okay, great. Thanks, Sarah. A question from Julie Lai. I was looking into admission requirements for practical nursing, and one of the requirements is Nurse 1602 Human Anatomy and Physiology with a minimum grade of 68% or equivalent within the last 3 years. How would I go about achieving that?
As far as nursing 1602, you can apply to register to take it at VCC.
Yeah, you can apply as long as you meet the prerequisites again, because nursing 1602 is a course. We look at the prerequisites again: English 12 with a B, Biology 12 with a C, and Math 11 with a C. Now there are equivalent courses that you can use towards. For example, well, I don't have any English 12 with a B in high school, but guess what? I have English 100 from SFU and I got a C+. Obviously, that is an equivalent, right? So you can use your English 100 from SFU with a C+, and you're fine. We're not going to be looking at your English 12 with a B anymore. You know what I mean? So yes, as long as you meet the prerequisites, the 3 prerequisites, please do apply, and you can register for nursing 1602. As a matter of fact, we're still you can still register for nursing 1602, and this is gonna start in May, which is our summer term.
Okay, thanks, Domingo.
You're welcome.
Another question from Chris. What's the passing grade for BSN courses once in the program?
Yeah, so I put a little answer in the chat, but it varies. So some of our courses are very, they're basically satisfactory or unsatisfactory. So they don't have like a grade level. And that would be, for example, like your clinical, right? You want to make sure that you're achieving all of the goals that are set for us as entry-level competencies for graduated nurses. Other courses we have are theory courses, and those typically are 72% are the passing grade, and other courses are 65%. So we set the bar to meet really the academic rigor that will best help you to be successful in the NCLEX. So that's how that goes.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. Question from Kuo Chi Chang. He's interested in nursing program, but not quite sure which program. Are there any VCC organized networking/job fair opportunities within the nursing programs? If yes, which programs has them? How to take advantage of them, and when do they happen?
I don't know. I don't know that we really have like networking. I think it would just sort of be this kind of info sessions, right? Just to come and see what your best fit is. I know if you look on our website, they do talk about doing some volunteer hours, which is probably a good idea. See if you can't volunteer in some sort of, right now it's COVID, so it's you probably won't get much exposure, but if you can get yourself into a hospital or community health environment and just see what it looks like, or put something out on Reddit or Facebook or something like that, just to see if you can get some questions and answers. Yeah, Janita, I don't know if you guys have anything formal. We don't.
No.
I'll say we do quite often get associations contact the school for students, or if they have a career fair or that sort of thing to share out. And we do have an internal career site for students to access where they can learn about those type of opportunities.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Danny.
There's a very interesting question here. Would receiving good grades in separate courses in anatomy, human biology, and physiology at a U.S. community college satisfy the anatomy and biology requirement for the practical nursing program? This is a good question, but I don't. Here's the thing. What do you mean by good grades? Because I need numbers. I need a percentage before I can answer. Oh yeah, you know what I mean. As an academic advisor, I cannot. Not I strongly again suggest to maybe email your transcript and let me see what it is, because yeah. But if you say I have anatomy and physiology from the states and I have both C plus, you can definitely use it, and let admissions look at it. I don't actually approve. It is our registrar's office who approves. I just want to make sure you understand that it's not me. It's our registrar's office. But you know, you could just always submit your transcript and let them see.
I just want to wrap up Kuo Chi Chang's second question. He had one more. For someone who has never taken any grade 12 level nor any university level biology and chemistry courses, which program do they most commonly take to start their nursing education at VCC?
Can you repeat that question, Michael? Sorry.
Yeah. For someone who has never taken any grade 12 level nor any university level biology and chemistry courses, which program do they most commonly take to start their nursing education at VCC?
Well, good question. You have to start with academic upgrading. So academic upgrading meaning you can do it. You can take our biology 12. You can take our chemistry 11. You know, again for LPN, we only require biology 12 with a C, and you can take that from us. You don't necessarily need chemistry 11. The only time you're gonna need chemistry 11 is if you say, you know what, I changed my mind. Now I want to go into BSN, and now I want to take biology 1120, which is anatomy and physiology. Guess what? You're gonna need biology 11 C plus, biology 12 C plus, chemistry 11 C plus, pre-calculus 11 C plus, English 12 with 72%. You know what I mean? So again, it all depends. You know, I'm repeating myself again. I'm sorry, but you really have to speak to an academic advisor, just because we want to be able to guide you. We want to make sure that you're going to be successful when you take the whatever courses that you want to take, either a course or a program at VCC. We just want to make sure that you're successful and you're on the right track. And again, choosing VCC over other schools to upgrade is really good. It's actually excellent because, again, you know, we're college. I mean, we have fantastic faculty. So, and we're a fantastic school, and we'll be able to make sure that you'll be successful in the end, right?
Okay, great. Hopefully that answered your questions. Question from Jasmine, and Rico has a comment here. Unfortunately, my questions missed. Sorry, Rico, that was my mistake. I hope we answered your questions. Question from Jasmine, what's the process of bridging from LPN to RN program?
The process to bridging from LPN to RN program is, number one, you need to have the LPN, right? You need to have the required hours work experience. Again, you need 900 hours work experience as a full scope LPN, and then you need to meet our university transfer courses. Again, 18 university transfer credits, 6 credits of anatomy and physiology, 6 credits of English, and 6 credits of any humanities, and they have to be the same. Again, you're looking at 2 psychology or 2 sociology or 2 history, and so on and so forth. And then you need to have the and then you need to complete the 4 transitional courses from LPN to BSN. There you go. So those are the requirements. Again, keep on checking the web page because we're not accepting application yet for the advanced entry, but yeah, again, I just have to say it again, what Sarah says, keep on checking the web page in about 2 or 3 months. Did you say, Sarah? Right? Perfect. So there you go.
Okay, a question from Jade. If I finished 1 year of health foundations at KPU, will it be credited for BSN?
I'm assuming the 1 year health and science from KPU encompasses all the 18 university transfer credits that we require for the BSN. So if so, then you should, right? You should be able to. But again, meeting all the university transfer courses doesn't mean that you're gonna get in, because number one, you still have to compete, right? Our BSN right now has competitive admission, and also you still need to do the Casper test, and Sarah has already explained what Casper test is, and then obviously the Math for Health Science assessment that you need to do as well, and the proof of English language proficiency, because I don't know whether English is your first language or second language. If it is second language, and again, there's a whole thing that it's really hard to explain right now, just because we're short of time. Then we may say, you know what, you may need IELTS academic. But right now, I don't know. I don't know. Not until I see and speak to you and hear what you have, right? So it's really hard to determine.
Okay. Next question from Preet. What is the GPA cutoff to get into the Bachelor of Science in Nursing program?
I can answer. Yeah, we don't really have a cutoff. What you'll see is that this is new for us this year. We're aligning our admissions criteria to match the other BSN programs in the Lower Mainland. So what we're doing is we're really looking at the Casper test results, and we're looking at your GPA, and we're putting those together, weighted quite evenly actually. And really we're taking the top applicants for that. So yeah. It's not like, oh, I have 92 and the GPA cutoff is 96. It's not that way, because we're looking at the results of both. So I would say, I mean, it's sounding like just reading through the chat and looking at the questions. I think the website is really good at telling you like some of the specific prerequisites that you need. And it can look like a lot, but don't be intimidated, just go through the list, go through the prerequisites, and just, we'd love to have you in our program. Mm-hmm. And don't be intimidated by the admission requirements. Just give it your best shot. That's what I can say. If it helps you guys, I was number 87 on the wait list when I was trying to get in. I was like, I'll never get in. And then sure enough, I got a phone call. So, follow that dream for sure.
That's great advice. Okay, question from Chantel. With the LPN program, once completed prerequisites, will I get on the wait list? What are the chances of me getting in?
Again, as Domingo had mentioned before, all you can do is complete the prerequisites and apply. As soon as you complete it, apply. And that's your best chance, because a seat can come up whenever the opportunity arises. So don't shy away from that. Just go ahead and apply. Michael, I was going to mention there was a question further up in the chat that you had missed that about the expiry on grade 12 courses.
Oh, okay. If you can answer that, please do.
Yeah, there is no, from what my understanding is, there's no expiry on your grade 12 courses. The person, I can't even see who it was, but had said that she had heard that there was a 5-year sort of expiry, and then you had to go ahead and upgrade courses. No. Again, our website is really good at telling you what courses require what, as far as with English and with biology. So just look that up, but there's no expiry on those high school courses at all.
Yeah, as an academic advisor, yes, no expiration for high school courses.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. Whoever told you that is wrong. No, high school courses don't expire. Even your high school graduation, by the way, they don't expire. Because I've been asked questions before. It's like, well, I graduated high school 20 years ago. Does that expire? I'm like, no. Right? So
to add to that too, and Janita, you can speak to it as well. I mean, we have the same, don't let the amount of years that have passed between your high school and your current age, I'll say it nicely, you know, again, you know, we have students that will come in their early 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s. I mean, life sometimes throws things at you where you can't achieve your career goal until later. And we have that all the time. So don't let that be a barrier. And Janita, I'm sure it's the same in your program.
Okay, question from, oh boy, Princess Polinario. How can I register for prerequisites for BSN advanced entry?
If you want to apply for, if you want to register for the prerequisites for the advanced entry, the first thing that you need to do is you need to apply to university transfer, and that is a program, okay? You can do that by looking at the web page, our VCC website, and under programs, look at I'm sorry, I'm getting I'm I'm having a brain fart here. Sorry. So you're gonna go to university transfer. Okay, under programs, go to university transfer, and the university transfer, it will say university transfer certificate. Apply to that program, and then submit your, if you're an LPN, all you have to do is email ro@vcc.ca and say, hey, I'm an LPN and here's my LPN number, and that will supersede the high school prerequisites, and you should be able to register. You can start taking all the university transfer courses. When I say all, that doesn't mean you'll do everything all at once. No. You know, you can do English, for example, or you can do the you know, biology 1120. Again, I don't encourage you to do 9 credits just because 9 credits is a full-time course, and again, it's competitive. So at the end of the day, you're not, you want to make sure that you're aiming for you know, good marks. You know what I mean? For good marks. So there you go.
Okay. I can see some questions have been answered in the chat. So looks like Minji, hopefully Sarah was able to answer your question there. Sukhpreet Kaur, I am doing HCA now. I want to know how long will LPN and RN, and what are the prerequisites for both?
Well, for the
yeah,
PN program, the prerequisites are all listed, as well as the BSN, all on our website very clearly. So have a look at that as far as the prerequisites go.
And again, meeting the prerequisites, to be honest with you, it all depends on, you know, on your you know, on your current situation. Are you working? Are you not working? You know what I mean? Because again, taking these courses, takes a lot of time too, right? And also your finances. Because I don't want you to be taking lots of courses and you don't have the money to pay for it. You know what I mean? So in other words, if you're asking me how long will it take me before I become an RN, given the fact that I'm, you know, doing my HCA right now, it all depends on so many things, right? Because again, you got to remember, you still need work hours in order to apply for the access to LPN. You still need to meet the prerequisites to take our nursing 1602, and so on and so forth. After you do your access to LPN, another university transfer courses, you have to go through that again for the BSN advanced entry. So again, it all depends on your situation.
Okay. Question from Jasmine. I finished English 105 at UFV. Will it be transferred as prereq English for BSN program?
105, I believe, is a, if I'm not mistaken, is that an academic writing or short story and fiction? If so, you can use it to apply for our BSN. However, again, we require 6 credits of English. If you do have 105 from UFV, we need another 3 credits of university English. So in other words, you can either take the second part of the university English at VCC, and then that's fine too, right?
Okay, another question from Jasmine. once I completed my prereqs for BSN program, are you guys going to look at my high school grades in order for me to get accepted?
I already answered that question.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Simon had a question about advising. Looks like Danny has answered that. Hopefully that answered your question, Simon. Let's see. A question from Lori. Would receiving good grades in separate courses in anatomy, human biology, and physiology at U.S. Community College satisfy the anatomy and biology requirement for the practical nursing program?
I think I already answered that, Michael.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Michael, I'm seeing a question here that talks about, sorry, my page is being really slow. So it talks about when is the cutoff day for the fall? It's from Jane R. For the fall 2021 BSN nursing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if one of you can speak to if that class is full.
For the what? For the nursing?
For the generic BSN for September.
Just because you know what? Because again, it's competition, right? So we don't know. I mean, I know that there's a time period where everything has to be submitted, right, to RO, meaning the 18 UT credits, the Casper test and all, because they're the only one. RO, that's the only department right now who can answer that question.
I'll drop an article we just posted. The
rest, right, Fiona?
The dean is updated. It says May 31st, I think.
Yes, I think so. So May 31st is when you need to submit everything to be even considered for the fall term 2021 for the BSN.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Fiona.
Maybe we'll take a few more questions. We've got about 9 more minutes left. Let me just see here. How about this one from Salom Lau? I took 2 English courses at SFU, but none are transferable as prerequisites to BCC. Do I need to complete 2 additional English courses at BCC?
That's a very good question, but very specific question. Sometimes in the BC transfer guide, you won't be able to see it just because you need to do a triangulate, we call it in our assessment jargon. Again, I suggest that you book an appointment to speak to the academic advisor, because I don't know what exactly you took from SFU. It's really hard to answer that question, not until we see the transcript, right? So if it is a university transfer English, okay, then I don't see an issue. If you say, you know what, this is a preparatory to academic writing or preparatory to university English, then that's not. Then because it's preparatory, it is still not the course itself yet. You know what I mean? So I won't be able to really answer that question, not until I see the transcript, unfortunately.
Okay, well, we'll take maybe one more question from Jade. This may be out of topic, but do you get notified if you don't get in the program?
You know what? That's a good question. But if you applied to the LPN and you didn't get in, for example, although you already met the prerequisites and everything, that means that you're still gonna get in. We just don't know when we're gonna email you or send you the acceptance letter, because once you're in, once you have everything, you're good. All you have to do is you're just waiting for your acceptance letter. So usually the acceptance letter for I'm talking about LPN here and access to LPN and other programs with no, when I say other programs, I'm talking about the BSN year 1, which is competitive in the dental hygiene, right? So anyways, so going back to the to LPN and access to LPN, if you don't get in, say, we usually send out acceptance letter 3 months before program starts, okay? So in other words, why 3 months? Because 3 months, I mean, we don't know what your financial situation, and that 3 months you should be, if you say, oh, now I want to apply for a student loan, then that's the time, that's the perfect time to apply for a student loan. You know what I mean? So again, 3 months before program starts, that's when we send out acceptance letter for LPN and access to LPN. But for the BSN, once you're in, you're in, because again, it's competitive admission. Once you have, you're part of the creme de la creme to start the program, then congratulations, you're in.
Okay. I think we've got about 5 more minutes left, so I have a few more things I'd like to share with you. Maybe we'll just take one more question because late one just came in. Sudita, if I apply for this year and I'm in the waiting list, would you guys accept my application for the next upcoming session?
If you're applying, say for example, for LPN or access to LPN, it's automatic for the next intake. It's automatic. For the BSN, apparently you will have to reapply again, just because that's what I heard. Am I right, Sarah?
Yeah, sorry, I was unmuting. Yeah, so basically we're not going to be holding wait lists anymore. So
Exactly.
we're falling in line with, Langara, for example, does the same admissions process. So every year you reapply. I am stumped. Jane asked the question, if I don't get accepted, can she still use the same Casper test for fall of 2022? And Casper is fairly new in our book. So I don't know if one of the other people can respond to how long we're holding a Casper, if it has to be rewritten every year.
From what I heard, that's only good for a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I heard. Okay, so if your Casper test is within a year and you want to use it again, why not, right?
Okay.
There's another question here, you guys, about I guess the question earlier, they were asking about the PN program. So yes, if you do apply, you sort of fall into the queue, right? And then once they look to see if all of your admission requirements are there, when a seat does come available, then right away, then they will contact you. So it's not like you have to apply for a certain term. You just apply for the program that you're interested in, whether it's generic or access, and then your seat availability will be called upon when there's a seat available.
Correct.
Okay. Thanks, Janita. I think that was from Sudipta, who was inquiring about the LPN. Okay. Why don't we wrap things up? I've got a few more things I'd like to share as we close the session. I'd like to bring to your attention just some services for prospective students. We've got advising services, financial aid, Indigenous services, disability services, counseling services, and free professional tutoring. If you just go to our website under the services for students section, then you'll find all those links. For next steps, we encourage you to attend an info session, meet with an advisor, or if you're ready to make the jump, then we encourage you to apply, and we're more than happy to receive your application. 2 more slides. Domingo mentioned this at the beginning. If you apply today, we'll waive the application fee, which is $35. Please note this is only for domestic students, and it is limit 1 per person. If you just go to vcc.ca/apply and enter the promo code info0421. You have to be careful because that's a 04. Info0421. And lastly, the contest. So I mentioned the contest. There's a 1 in 3 tuition credits that are available of a value of $1,000. Feel free to enter into that contest. The form will be available on our website at vcc.ca/experience. And if you enter the code first-choice, then you'll be entered to win one of those 3 tuition credits. Okay, any closing thoughts? We've got 1 more minute. No, we're good. Okay. Well,
yeah, I think I would just say thanks everybody for coming and getting the information, and we certainly look forward to meeting you.
Perfect. Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and thanks to the program representatives and our advisors and our second moderators. For you students that are interested in joining us, we'd be thrilled that you join our community. So sounds like main theme is go ahead and apply. If you've got specific questions, attend our live advising Zoom meeting, which is happening now. Runs from 9:30 to 5 p.m. today and tomorrow. And if you need any more additional support, you can book and register an appointment with our advisors. Okay, thanks everyone.